Here we go, episode 95 of the Hardline Sports Talk. I'm Michael Merlo, John Michael Masiri. You are here. JM, how are you?
I'm good. I noticed you changed your Zoom name. It just says Merlo now.
What did it say? Because I
It
accidentally
said
deleted it before.
it said I don't know if it said Michael or it might have said Mike,
I think it said Mike.
which really threw me off.
Yeah.
I don't
Do you want me to
I don't
change it?
I
I
don't
can
call you
change
Mike.
it.
Nah, it's good. I like it. Yeah. This is your
Uh,
name.
oh, I actually don't
You
know.
go
Oh,
by.
I can rename. Yeah, no, I'll leave it. I accidentally deleted it when I put in the meeting passcode. I
Yeah.
was typing the meeting passcode into my
Okay.
name. So, how
Are
are you?
you
That you're good?
I'm good, man. I'm scouting out my tickets already. Schedule release came out yesterday. Um so I'm looking at stuff. I'll tell you, man, these tickets not usually what I expect out of Jets tickets.
Yeah,
Little pricey, man.
got a
Little
lot of
pricey.
primetime games. That's
Yeah.
fun.
Mm-hmm.
That's Giants. That'll be a hot ticket when that comes out.
Yep.
If the Giants are playing well by then, the Jets should be um, playing well all year. If the Giants have a nice record, that'll be a hot ticket.
Yep.
There are a couple other games that are. We're going to get to all that. I just got to say, the NFL is king because they are able to monetize everything.
Yes.
And for me, the NFL feels like it's never an off season because the Super Bowl a couple weeks after that, you got free agency starting, then it's the draft, then you have the schedule release is so hyped up. It's
Yeah.
the NFL is king. It's nuts, and we're here. We're basically
Yep.
here
Yep.
in a
Meanwhile, it has
month.
the longest off season, but it doesn't
Yeah.
really feel like it does.
Not at all. So we are going to start. We'll talk the NFL later because a lot I want to talk about. Both our team schedules, the national game schedules. We're going to talk all that and a little baseball. But first, we are going to start in the NBA. The Knicks tonight, Game 6 in Miami. They staged off elimination in Game 5 at home. JM, you're the Knicks fan here. How are you feeling heading into Game 6 in Miami?
I'd sit here and say, we're coming off a big win. Feeling good going into tonight. I'd love to say that, and when everybody's listening to this, the result will already be out there. I think it ends tonight. I think the season's done tonight. I think that when you look at the way that the series has gone, I think the most obvious thing is the Heat have just outshot the Knicks. They've out hustled the Knicks. The Knicks have really better in Game 5, but throughout the series just have not shot the three well. Um, and I just think that the Heat are way more comfortable. It feels to me like when the Knicks have won some of these games, it's like, whew, like take a deep breath, like, whew, okay, we did it, we won. The Heat, it's been a lot more smooth sailing. I do think if the Knicks lose this series, they're gonna look back at that game one and say that was the game. Like that, like I know when we talk about important games in a playoff series, game one is not at the top of the list. But retrospectively looking back now, you had that lead at halftime. You were playing very, very well. And then that third quarter and that fourth quarter, it just completely slipped away. And I think that's one of the deciding games of the whole series.
You mentioned last time we recorded about Julius Randle. Now, he's not a winning player, and you don't believe that the Knicks can win. I think it was you. I think you said this
Yeah.
to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, give him a break. It's been two playoff series. And, he wasn't terrible in the first series. They won despite having him at his best. But watching him the past few days, his answer after game 4 saying that the Heat just wanted it more. I know his stats were great this year. What was he all third team, second team?
Third team, yeah.
Get him as far away as possible. This guy is, you are 100% right. He's not a winning player. He doesn't look like A, he enjoys playing basketball, and B, wants to win. It just looks like he's actively trying to lose games.
I mean, how much more of this can you do? Like, I'm all for giving athletes breaks if they have a bad playoff series, and you're not going to throw the label on them that they can't perform well in these big moments, everything like that. Julius Randle's got a lot of playoff games under his belt now. He just had his first ever playoff game where he shot over 50% in the game. I mean, his points per game in this series are like 18 compared to in the regular season. Those are way down. And he just has, this is Brunson's team. Like he's not, it's the whole year. I feel like everybody thought it was Randall's team. And,
No.
Brunson was coming on and you're like, oh, okay, they're kind of, a great duo, but it's Jalen Brunson's team. And then next, it's not even Julius Randle. It's RJ Barrett's team after that. Like I don't even know if I put Julius Randle third at this point because he's putting up 18 points per game. He's not playing good defense. He's not really hustling and he's not shooting efficiently. So at this point, like, I don't know what the look is going to be now. Now, obviously the season isn't over yet, but I don't know what the look is going to be like in the offseason of what they want to do. I don't know what kind of options they're going to have. I mean, Julius Randle's name last offseason was thrown around in trade talks. It's not out of the realm of possibilities that he could be traded and you could, fill in his replacement with a guy who, there's good free agents out there. You got Chris Middleton, Jeremy Grant, Brooke Lopez. You got some good players out there who could still live in the same world with Julius Randle as a Knick. But having that guy as that crucial of a player on your team when he's just not a great playoff performer. And yeah, what you said, just a completely tone deaf comment. Like, what? Maybe they just want it more than us. Well, maybe you're right because I saw a clip of him getting the inbound stolen and him just walking away while his teammates are trying to defend. And it's like a 10-second possession. And he's still standing at half court, just watching all this unfold. So and maybe you're right. Maybe they do want it more.
And you brought it up too. He's had chances in the postseason. He's had, seasons where he was good and where he was bad. Last season was not good. This past regular season was really good. So, you know what? It might be easier to trade him this offseason. But going back to the comment that he made, this is not the first, second, or even third time he has made a comment to the media or to the fans that has not, been good. Right. Yeah. He has had issues with the media. He has had issues with the fan. He's flipped the fans off. I mean, this guy is not built for New York. He cannot handle New York, the pressure of it, anything. He just can't.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I think Jalen Brunson is completely built for. I think Jalen Brunson is like a Knick. Like he's like just the definition of a Knick.
I mean, he's arguably their greatest, free agent signing.
Yeah.
Could be, ever. I mean, he's up there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Especially when you talk about the value, when you look at this Knicks season, though, like I do want to keep things in hindsight. Like it was a great season.
Yes.
You were not anticipating, being a playoff team, maybe a play-in, like you were coming off last season, missing the playoffs. You were not anticipating this team to be great. The Brunson signing, a lot of people were critical of that. Just thought Brunson was a glorified role player who had a good season in Dallas, and he wasn't really going to be that guy who could amount to the contract that he got. And like I just said, for the value, not only did he amount to that, he completely exceeded expectations and has now become basically a superstar-esque player. You made it to the second round. You won a playoff series, first time in 10 years. Really good things. You have a lot of cap space. You have some draft picks coming up now. Like they're in a good spot.
A lot of pieces to build around. This was absolutely a successful season. I mean, the offseason, even at the trade deadline, all we spoke about was the Knicks and just like being mid, like just being a mid-level team, not being able to take that next step, don't have the guys to take that next step and be a serious contender. But legitimately, they were. I mean, they've been a serious contender. They're in the second round. They have a chance to still advance to the Eastern Conference Finals. We're talking about them as if they're dead. But if they are dead when this episode airs, it was a very successful season. Right. They took the necessary steps. I know there's a lot of questions about whether or not Tom Thibodeau can be the coach of this team moving forward. I don't know how you feel, but I don't know if I can give an answer on that.
Right.
But a lot of people don't think that they can win with Tom Thibodeau.
I think he's proven. I think that Tom Thibodeau, while I understand some of the points that people say, because I know his coaching style and everything like that, the guy's been here for 3 years. He's took the team to the playoffs twice. Like it's, he's won a playoff series. He's done a good job here as, being the next coach. The thing I would say though, when I'm talking about, the Knicks, they're in a good spot, cap space, this and that. They are in a good spot. It doesn't last forever, though. So be aggressive, be tactical, be very smart about what you do because They're not going to have all this cap space forever and be in this window where they could become a championship contender. It's not going to last forever. So if you really, if you're the Knicks front office, Scott Perry, Worldwide West, if you're sitting there and you're saying, Julius Randle, I don't think that this guy could win us a championship, then that's it.
You have to move on.
You have to move. You have to move on. And I know, that it's not how it works. Where it's not a video game. You can't just get 30 trade offers or 29 trade offers from any NBA team. I understand that you need to find a suitable partner. You need to make sure you get the right return. You're not just going to shop him around like he's, dead goods and just give him away for nothing. But if you do find a suitable trade partner, or you find whatever trade or who knows what other however else creative they could get, you got to make the move.
Now, the Knicks, if they are able to survive this series, and we didn't really talk much about the Heat, but again, the Heat, you spoke about it. They just look like they want it more. They're more aggressive, and this is a team, hungry dog runs faster. Is this the case with them? It might be that the Knicks just thought they were going to be able to come into this series and just win and take over. They have not been able to do that. The Heat have been great. Jimmy Butler deserves a ton of credit. He's got the bum ankle. But he's played very well. Now, the winner of this series is going to take on the winner of Game 7, which is going to be in a couple of days. But let's talk about the game last night, 76ers and the Celtics. Boston held off one more night in Philadelphia. And that place was going nuts. Obviously, it's Philadelphia. It's crazy town. With a chance for the 76ers to get to a place they haven't been in a very long time. A series away from getting to the finals. So an impressive win from Jason Tatum, who was terrible until, 6 minutes left in the game, where he hit a couple of really big threes and put them ahead and really pushed the game in the Celtics' favor last night.
Yeah, it's been a very, very entertaining series. Tatum, like you said, he performed extremely well. I mean, I think he had 3 points going in the fourth quarter, something just like he was a non-factor.
He was terrible.
And Philly, they've played very well, and I think James Harden has really let people know, like, hey, like, I'm still James Harden, like, I'm in my prime still. I don't care what team I'm on, what role I have, I'm still the man, and he really is. Embiid's been fantastic. It's been obviously a star-studded series, and it seems like these teams always find each other in the playoffs, man. It's the Sixers and the freaking Celtics. I don't know how many series they've had over the years. Even if they haven't played each other, they've always been in the same conversation of, is the Celtics better than the Sixers? And, this team couldn't get over the hump. They couldn't get over the hump. Like, they've had a very similar storyline, both young teams with young superstars. Tatum, I think, could win an MVP before his career ends for sure. Embiid obviously just got his first one, although I think Jokic should have won it, but we'll talk about that another time. I do think, though, like, if we're gonna make predictions, Philly, that was their chance. Like, I think, I understand they won on the road easily, actually, in Game 5, and the Celtics just won on the road. I understand that the home team doesn't always win, but that was their chance. Game 7, going back to Boston.
Not going to be fun.
It might be a great matchup, a great game. I think that was it. I think Boston's going to win. And if I know I hate to keep going back to the Knicks, and like we said, the Knicks could be dead by the time this episode airs. If I'm the Knicks, I'd rather see the Celtics. I think that would kind of be a nightmare if they're facing Embiid. I know Mitchell Robinson, he's a very good interior defender, but Embiid's an athletic center who can beat you at anywhere on the court. He could, take it up. He could dribble around the perimeter, hit perimeter shots. Mitchell Robinson is a very poor perimeter defender. So I don't know how they would deal with that, but that is an extreme hypothetical.
Do you think, I know the teams don't look at, matchups and other teams the way fans do, like we do. Like, we would look at, if you're in Boston or Philadelphia's case, like, wow, we win this series, and we have a really good chance of getting to the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
But, like, they have to be, like, saying at least we don't have to play Milwaukee, right? Like, at least the one.
Oh, you are 100% saying that. I mean, listen, I hate to, this might be cringe, but, like, I remember when we were playing high school football, man, like thinking about what team we were gonna play if we beat this team, and we're like, oh, thank God, Freeport
Yeah.
lost or whoever we said, because it's true. Like, you don't these athletes, they're fans too, or they're not even, you don't even have to call them fans. They know what's going on, so I think 100% they're thinking that, oh, Milwaukee's done, we got a better shot now. And they 100%.
You think they're thinking about that? That's nuts.
Yeah.
Listen, I just want to say a couple of things about Philadelphia. One, Glenn Doc Rivers is not very good in game sevens. That's number one. And number two, I am rooting for Philadelphia. Okay. I want the 76ers to not only win this series, but to get to the NBA Finals.
Wait. What did you just say?
I am rooting for the Philadelphia 76ers.
You are rooting for the city of Philadelphia. Hold on. This needs to be like benchmarked.
Can I finish? Pause.
Sure. Oh, how's this gonna end? All right, go ahead.
I need the Philadelphia 76ers to lose in the NBA Finals, because wouldn't that just be hysterical?
Yeah, that would be a wonderful yet awful year for Philadelphia. You got the Phillies, Eagles, and Sixers all losing. Hey, at least their MLS team won.
No, they lost too in the final. Yes. I need this to happen. So I am rooting for the 76ers. I really hope they're able to take down Boston and take down whoever they're going to play in the next round, because we need, most likely, imagine if it's LeBron. That would be beautiful if LeBron takes them down, but most likely the Nuggets.
So, yeah, let's segue into that,
because it's perfect.
I think that
Bron's
the
done.
Warriors by no means are dead. I will say, I want to say, I do want the Lakers to win the series. I mean, I'm not like, oh my God, like I hate the Warriors. I hope they lose. But we talked about before when I said the Knicks were like, thank God we won. The Lakers, man, they've had some games like that game 5, the Lonnie Walker game. That was really clutch, but I think if they lose that game, they lose the series.
Right.
You would have gone back to Golden State. Now you're down 3-2. I know a 3-1 deficit's a big deal to come back from, but if I'm the Lakers, man, I know they're not. I am not taking the Warriors lightly at all. They can easily come back and win this series. So AD's got to be healthy. He's been the X factor. He's got to be healthy. He's got to play well. Because without him, that interior presence, I mean, they're screwed. I mean, they don't have anybody really to match up with them.
Right.
They're Kevon Looney's done a great job. I don't know if he fouled out. I don't know what happened the other day with the Draymond turnover in game 5 right at the end. He wasn't even on the court. So,
right.
It was AD getting guarded by nobody, basically.
Yeah, no, it is interesting because game 5 was almost like a throwaway game for the Lakers. There were some people even like saying that the Lakers, like really crazy hot takes, that the Lakers shouldn't even start their players in game 5 because it was going to be a wash, because they were just going to lose no matter what. And I understood that, but I don't understand the point. I think that was stupid, but I understood not thinking the Lakers really had a chance. I didn't think they were going to win game 5 in Golden State, but it puts so much pressure on this game 6 now for the Lakers. Like, they better win this game. Not only just that feeling of like, oh, you blew a 3-1 lead, and now it's tied, but you got to go back to Golden State. Yep. And if they are to win this game, now the Warriors are hot and they've gotten going finally. So the Lakers got to end.
The momentum shifts 100%, because it's the same thing like with the Knicks tonight. If they win, then all of a sudden it's a brand new ball game. We're talking about win or go home, sudden death, and you're playing in New York. It completely shifts.
Yeah, no, the Lakers have to win this game tonight. I think it's a must win for the Lakers tonight.
Absolutely. I just got confused for a second. I'm like, the Lakers are the lower seed, because I was like, they're going back to LA for game 6.
They're the 7,
Yeah, it's just weird because they've been so hot as of late, and the Warriors, they had a good season, the Warriors, but they were kind of just like mid the whole, like, decent. They were the 6th seed. So, I just like in my head assumed that the Lakers were the higher seed, but they're not.
I'm trying to look at this. I'm looking at the schedule. So there's no games on Saturday. Sunday is game 7 of the 76ers Celtics, and then game 7 of possible Lakers Warriors would be Sunday.
I mean, and the NBA's got to be loving this, though. You had 4 series, semifinals in each conference, and all of them went 6 games at least. You got one going to game 7. You got 2 more that could potentially go to game 7.
And all 6 of these teams are major market.
Oh, 100, yeah.
The Laker Warriors is going to be the most watched second round series probably ever.
Yep.
You have Miami and New York, which is, you know, a rivalry dating back, you know, decades.
Right.
And
Boston,
it's
Philly.
an interesting series. And then Boston Philly is a fantastic series. 2 great teams now heading to game 7.
The only one with like the smaller markets was Denver versus Phoenix, and that's the one that ended the quickest. So they probably don't even care.
They probably like, I'm sure they're unhappy the Phoenix lost, but yes, you're 100% correct. And just to bring that series up, they did go down last night, those Suns. I saw this post this morning, like time is a flat circle, and it was the Suns losing by 30 in an elimination game last year, and now losing by 30 at half again.
Yeah, I mean,
a year later.
This is what separates the, I'll even call them superstar. And I don't want to put KD in this situation because KD is a superstar and he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's probably top 15 player of all time. Might even be top 10 at the end of his career when we look back. Devin Booker had a great series. This is what happens though when you compare your stars on the fringe of superstars to your elite all-time players like Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic comes out every night, gives you 35, 13, and 10. Automatic shooting 70% from the field. Like, the guy's unbelievable. Devin Booker has his worst game of the series, you know, not hitting his shots, shot like, I don't even know, like 4 or 13 or something, was not shooting
exactly what it was.
Yeah. Was not shooting efficiently, put up 13, 14 points, whatever he put up. And that's what happens. Like, I don't understand. I don't want to sound like a Jokic, like, meat rider, but like I am. Like, because I'm tired. I just don't understand where the disrespect comes from. I think he's the best player in the league. Like, I don't care who's healthy, who's not healthy. Oh, well, you know, KD and whoever else, Giannis. Like, Giannis is number 2 for me. I think Jokic is the best guy in the league. Just everything that he does, everybody wants to talk about how the NBA is soft these days, which is BS, by the way. But maybe in the regular season it is. You know, I definitely see that they play easier on defense in the regular season. Nikola Jokic is as physical of a center that I've seen. I mean, he's throwing people around. Yesterday, I was just watching him run back and forth. I wasn't even watching the balls. Like, let me just watch Jokic for a couple possessions, running back and forth, throwing the center, like probably getting away with fouls. But like, if he does it constantly, they're not going to call it, you know, just throwing little elbows, pushes, getting the rebounds. And he's just, it seems like he's always in the right place at the right time. And it's just unbelievable. The guy's getting 10 assists a game. He just passed Wilt Chamberlain for the most triple doubles by a center in playoffs history. It feels like his career is like still just getting started too. So
he's just, I don't know what it is. Like, I'll tell you from a casual NBA's fan standpoint,
he doesn't look good.
He doesn't look good. It's not like exciting to watch at times.
Bro, he shoots like he's like,
I know. It's just, it's like not marketable. I think that's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Like, Embiid is,
he makes everything just look easy, man. He just like, everything's like lackadaisical about his game, and he'll just like drop 40, and you're like, how did that even happen?
Like, even Embiid is a little bit more athletic, you know, faster. He's outspoken. You know, he's easier to market than than Jokic is, but
he really reminds me of Drago from Rocky. I think he's just like,
his brothers
are terrifying.
His brothers are nuts.
Yeah. Oh, I'd be terrified. The Suns owner who got pushed.
Yeah.
You really think if Jokic and his brothers weren't so terrifying, he would be like, "Oh, I don't want him suspended." You know, it was blah blah blah.
They probably threatened him.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably sent a threat like, "Hey, buddy, better make sure this doesn't happen, or you're
done." They sent a horse's head to his front door. We're like,
"Yeah,
hey, bud."
That was a crazy situation. I know that's out of the loop now, but like, that was so stupid.
Yeah,
so dumb.
Yep.
All right. So when we record next time, we're gonna have conference finals set, a Final Four, and ready to go. Hopefully your Knicks are still alive. I don't know. I don't think so. I agree with you. I think they'll probably be done, but we will see. Let's switch gears here. We'll hit a little baseball. I got a lot.
Yeah. Oh,
New
I
York
bet you
Met,
do.
yeah. New York Mets, as we sit here currently, Friday, May 12th, are headed to Washington to play the Nationals. Now you would think, oh wow, you got the Nationals. All right. Well, you must be feeling good, right? You
Yeah.
must think, you got a chance here to go on a little run. 4 games, I think, here with the Nationals. I don't know if you saw the graphic, by the way, but the Mets SMY put up a graphic of the probable starters for the weekend, and everybody was TBD for the Mets. The Nationals got a full rotation, but the Mets
Oh.
are TBD.
Oh, good. The whole rotation?
Yeah, the next 4 was TBD. They don't
Jesus.
know, and it's actually still TBD.
That's
But it's
insane.
okay though. Mackenzie Gore, who threw 6 scoreless against the Mets last time, he went out. Is going to pitch tonight. Okay, listen. You asked me the other day. I don't even know when you asked me. You asked what's my panic level, right? And what did I
Yeah.
say? I said a 7.
Yeah.
I said a 7 out of 10 would be my panic level. When did you even ask me that?
I believe it was the first game after they lost to the Reds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It
And
was
I
like the
said a
beginning of
7.
the Red series. Yeah.
All right. I said a 7, and I'll stand by that. I'll say 7. But I don't know if you remember this. I actually X'd for this start. Do
You
you
did.
remember this?
You did. You did say that. Yep.
Do
Because
you remember
you said the Mets always do good in April. And that, yeah. And you said maybe the opposite will be the best thing for you.
But I said even before the season started that let them be under 500 in May, let them be terrible, and then go on a run. Kind of like the Nationals did in 19 and the Phillies did last season.
Yep.
And I mean, the Braves were terrible in 21 until August, but
Yep.
you get my point.
Yeah.
You get my picture.
Right.
But I got to say, I wish that it was 2022 because this team is just, I mean, they are pathetic.
Yeah.
I mean, they are a pathetic baseball team.
Well,
their starting rotation is inept. It is terrible. It's putrid and it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
How these guys, excluding Verlander for 2 starts, are putrid.
Yeah. I mean, how do you even give Peterson the ball anymore? You can't.
You can't. No,
I mean, I don't know what other options they have, but he's just awful.
He cannot see the major leagues for the rest of this season. He came up on, they sent him down, but he had came up to start Scherzer, who got scratched with neck spasm, which, by the way, the last person I expected to piss me off the most was Max Scherzer.
Right.
I mean, by far, Max Scherzer, his entire career, never made excuses, was always, give me the ball. I want the ball. He's so fierce. He's so ferocious.
Yep.
Give me the ball. I'm going to strike you out. He's cursing people out.
Yep.
This guy, I swear to God, all he does is talk about injuries. All he does is talk about, I can manage this, I can manage that, I know this, I know that, I know my body. No, you don't, Max. You suck.
Yeah.
You suck. You don't know your body and you suck. Okay? That's where Max Scherzer's at this point.
Well, I mean, I'm surprised we're talking about the Mets and the pitching is the issue. It seems like with the Mets forever at this point that it's always been the bats. And last year, very good pitching. The bats were good last year. Fell short in the playoffs, but they're 22nd in the league in team ERA. They got 2 guys on their entire roster who have below a 3 ERA, which is including bullpen, obviously. It really just seems like Robertson, Ottavino, like the only guys who are, especially Robertson. I mean, he's having a great year, but are the only guys who are really getting it done. And yeah, there's obviously been some injuries. I feel like they're on a pretty similar stage in their season like the Yankees are when we want to talk about that. A lot of guys are missing and everything like that. But I get it, no Diaz. I get it that Verlander was hurt to start the year. I understand that Max Scherzer, has been banged up, but it's not good, man. And who knows about Scherzer? I mean, I hate to say it, but we talked in the offseason. I think it was when we had Joe on. We're doing with Joe from Just Ball Analytics. We're talking about an outlook about the Mets of the year. I forgot what we were talking about, but we were saying that the Mets. I think it was in our preseason prediction show.
Yeah,
talking about the Mets, and we said, obviously, the Verlander signing is coming off of Cy Young. It's an intimidating signing. Scherzer had a great year last year. It does always in the back of your mind, though. It makes you think. We got 2 guys 39 years old. Verlander, is he in his 40s yet, Verlander? I think he might
He's
be
in his 40s.
40 at the top of that rotation. These guys need to fall off eventually. Who knows what's going to happen? And I don't want to say it, but we might be seeing it with Max Scherzer. I don't think it's out of the realm of the possibility to talk about it, at least now. Based on the start he's off to, I think he could figure it out. I think he could come back and be the Max Scherzer that we all know. But anytime a performance in a guy his age dips like that, it makes you think. And it always feels like guys at this age, especially pitchers, they fall off a cliff. Like it's not like a Adam Wainwright's like one of the only guys I could really think of that like it was a slow decline. But a lot of these pitchers, it just seems like that. I remember Felix Hernandez, he fell off a freaking cliff. He just all of a sudden could not pitch. So
again, it's like I think part of it's also the new rules with Scherzer.
Yeah.
And feeling rushed and just not feeling comfortable and getting in a groove. I think it's part injuries as well.
Yep.
But I don't know.
Yep.
Like I believe that he's gonna figure it out and get right and get comfortable with the new rules and start pitching better. But what's better? Like can he get to a point where he has like a 3.3 ERA? Because I'll sign for that right now.
Yeah,
I'll sign for that right now.
I want to take a look at his. Go ahead, but I was just going to take a look at Scherzer's Baseball Savant page just to see, how his stuff has played this year.
I mean, go through the rotation. Like Verlander, okay, put Verlander aside. He's looked really good since coming back from the IL. We'll put him on the side. Kodai Senga, like at one point he was their best pitcher, but he's inconsistent. And it's hard to rely on a guy this early in the season coming over from Japan. He's a question mark. He has control issues. I think he'll figure it out, but right now, it's a little bit of an issue. Yeah. Tyler McGill's a back end of the rotation type of guy. That's just what he is. I mean, Joey Lucchesi, Jesus Christ, we're talking about Joey Lucchesi. Like, Come on. David Peterson, like we mentioned, cannot see the major leagues. This is their rotation right now. This is what it is. Yeah. Carrasco, before he got hurt, was abysmal. You're getting Quintana back. Great. In July.
Another old guy coming off an injury, though. Who knows what's going to happen with that.
I like Quintana as a back end of the rotation guy. He's going to come in and slot in as like a 2 or 3 starter if Scherzer and Senga don't figure it out.
Right. Now you got Senga, his first year, he's guy's a rookie. Now you're all of a sudden he's basically the ace of your rotation right now. Yeah,
he was for a couple weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it. I know that it's a lower sample size. He's thrown 405 pitches this year, Scherzer, compared to the 2,100 he threw last year. So this is only about 20%, 18% of what he did last year. But, he's got a hard hit percentage of 40.9 compared to 33.9. So that's up a lot. His strikeout percentage is down for his career. It's 32.7. It's always been in the 30s. Right now it's 20. So he's walking a lot of guys. He's got a 10% walk rate. It's a lot. And then you just look at all this stuff on his MLB percentile rankings. The fastball spin is the only thing that's in the 80s. Everything else, I'm looking at a lot of blue here. Very league average or way below league average, especially the barrel percentage. He's in the 7th percentile. So they're barreling up his pitches. And what does that tell you is hitters are seeing the ball well. He's not blowing it by guys. He's leaving it in bad spots where pitches, where they're going to get hit. He's hanging a lot of stuff. So obviously,
ain't good.
A surprise for a guy with a 5.5 ERA to start the season. You're going to see numbers like this, and they could, go back to normal. But we don't know what's going to happen. Like I said, a guy this age, it's why we're having this conversation.
It's not what you want. And then to go to the offense. By the way, can I just say something about these dumbass Met fans? Ronnie Mauricio, one of their top prospects, is not coming to the majors this season. Yeah. Okay? He has a 4% walk rate. He strikes out a lot. He swings at bad pitches, and he hits the ball on the ground. He's a young, developing prospect. Can we stop rushing these guys for crying out loud? Right. Sure, Mark Vientos is the best hitter in the minor leagues right now. Mark Vientos should come up. They don't have a position for him yet, and they're not just going to DH him, but he should come up and try and help the team. But the offense is not the problem, okay? It's not. And I would like to get your opinion on this before we have to take a break. Daniel Vogelback, to me, is like one of the more useless players of all time with the best numbers for a useless player. He has an 800 OPS. He leads the team in on-base percentage, but he doesn't hit home runs. He doesn't really drive guys in, and he usually kills innings by walking, putting guys on base, getting bases loaded or 2 men on, and then leaving it for the 8 and 9 hitters to get out.
Right.
Would bat this guy ninth.
I mean, I understand because he's not hitting for power. A guy of his size, a guy who obviously can't run, you would hope that he's hitting for power, and the on-base percentage is nice, but, when he gets on base,
it's useless. He's base to base. He's useless.
Exactly. He's base to base. He's not a good base runner, obviously. Maybe that would help a little bit. There's guys that are slow. They're like Anthony Rizzo's a great base runner. At least he compensates for his speed a little bit. Not a great base runner. Super slow guy. So, yeah, I understand your point 100%. Especially when you can't field, when you can't run, you can't throw. You better hope.
Hit home runs. You better hit home runs. You better be driving guys in.
You could swing that bat. And mid-production, I completely understand your frustration.
But I also feel bad because he has an 800 OPS on bases in the 400s. But
but he's slugging 385. That's
not
good.
I know it's not good. All right, let's digress here. Let's move on. Let's It's
not like it's going much better with the Yankees, by the way. Don't act like this is like, all right, we'll take a break.
But you know what? At the end of the day, the Yankees went to Tampa Bay last weekend and they played well. And they blew the 6-0 lead on Sunday to take the series. And that was brutal. But that you can compete with them. You can compete with them. Yeah, you're far out of the first place. But the Mets don't have it. The Mets don't have a chance catching the Braves, beating the Braves. They got to avoid the Braves at all costs. The Yankees, I know the Rays have kind of been their kryptonite a little bit. I still trust, and this is an outsider's view, I still trust my team against, as good as the Rays are, I would trust the Yankees against them. Fully healthy.
But I think the only reason why we're saying that is the Rays are like a shock this year. We know how good the Braves are. We know the Braves are the real deal. It's still in the back of our minds where we're saying, are the Rays really this good? Are they 30-9 good? Are they like juggernaut World Series contenders? I don't know. But, I'm not going to complain too much about the division. It is a freaking pain in the ass to be 3 games over 500 and be in last place. It's just insane. And I don't think that's sustainable for the division over the course of the year, but I sure do think that we could see 4 teams 500 or above. I mean, if I had to pick one to fall out of it, it'd be the Red Sox. But we know the Reds, it's really hard for the Red Sox to have a disaster year. We know they're a good organization. They stay competitive. They really haven't had an awful season since the Cespedes year when they traded for him and the next season, whatever, that was a train wreck. But I mean, it's just
they can score.
I honestly, to tell you the truth about this Yankees team, I think what we saw the first half of 2021 or 2022, 2022, just take that out. Because when you look at this team from 2021, won 91 games, you look at them last year, the second half, they go 500. They just scrape out of the ALDS against the Guardians. They get swept by the Astros, and now they're playing at a mid-level. They're 21-18. They're missing Rodon. Judge just came back from the IL. Stanton's on the IL. You got guys that are hurt. I get it. I think that this team is fully healthy, though. I think it's the same problems. I think the rotation's good. The bullpen's good. The lineup, we just don't have enough depth. It's not a scary enough lineup 1 through 9. Aaron Hicks getting freaking playing time in 2023 is absolutely ridiculous. I don't care what contract he has. You can't get enough trade value for him. What trade value are you going to get for Aaron Hicks? He's freaking awful. He can't field a fly ball anymore. Everything that was good about him in 2017 when you got him, when he was a great player, 850 OPS, guy could put up 6 WAR. We thought he was going to be a star. He was a very good player in 2017. That's all gone. The bat's gone. He was always a guy who was going to hit about 250, but he could give you 25 home runs, and he could play a good center field, and he had a freaking rocket of an arm, and he was a decent runner. He'd give you all that stuff, which was great. It's all gone now. The fact that he gets playing time, Jake Bauers should be playing over him. I don't even know who Jake Bauers is.
Yeah. No, it's
Giving him playing time. IKF too. At least like IKF, I can't stand him, but like at least he tries. And like I'm sure Iron Hicks tries too, but like IKF gets a lot of crap. But like he doesn't ever say anything about it.
he doesn't mope.
He plays, he goes 2 for 9 with 2 singles, and he goes home over the course of the series, and he packs up his bags and goes back home, which is not good, but at least it's not on the level of disaster that Aaron Hicks is. And I can't, my brain can't understand like how that's happening. I don't understand the talent evaluation in this organization anymore. Oswaldo Cabrera was a guy who came up, he gave you a nice spark. You could tell he wasn't a great hitter. He has positional flexibility. He's an athletic guy. Everything about that's great. Him being your opening day left fielder, are you serious? Like, you really think that you re-sign Aaron Judge? All right, we're good. We don't need to touch anything else with the bats. Let's keep the same exact lineup, and we'll be a World Series team.
Well, that's the problem. The roster construction was the problem. When you look at, like you said, look at what they were in the second half of the season last year. That's the team that they were more comparable to compared to the first half of the season. And they didn't add anything to that offense. The only thing they did add was Carlos Rodon. And who the hell knows when you're seeing Carlos Rodon? If I had a prediction, it would be after the All-Star break sometime in August. If I had a prediction on when you're going to see him starting games for the Yankees.
That's another thing is, which it's driving me insane. There's all these conflicting reports about Carlos Rodon. It's chronic. No, it's not chronic. Oh, he wants to pitch, but the Yankees won't let him pitch. Oh, no, he's out till August. No, he could pitch right now. Like, figure it out. I don't know what the hell's going on. They definitely need him because Johnny Brito starting games. Like, I think something that we talk about sometimes when we're like, oh, you know, your season's not over in April and everything like that. You can't. We say it all the time. It's a completely factual statement. You can't win the division in May and in June and even July.
You lose it.
Sure as hell can lose it. And that's exactly what they're doing. Right? They're 9 games back. That's a gap already.
JM,
9 games back.
I think us as Met and Yankee fans need to get to this point where we are not winning the division. Like, the division is out of the question. For both teams, it's get healthy, get right, and get hot at the right time, go on a run, have a home playoff series in the first round of that wild card round, and then you say a prayer and hopefully you go on a run. That's the goal for these two teams right now, because I don't see any way that they win the division. The Yankees, in my opinion, they're probably the third best team in the division. I know Toronto, that's my team, and they've struggled the past 10 days, but
I don't like, are we better than Baltimore? They can hit, man.
I don't know.
We can't hit.
Not right now. Like,
no, I'm at the, like, this is, like, I'm so frustrated because when you're a fan in the offseason, like, you want your team to improve, and, like, I was so ecstatic over Judge and over Rodon, like, getting them, you know, keeping Judge, getting Rodon, like, those were great signings. But, like, I would always say, it'd be like, I still don't feel great. Like, we need offense, and there were some things where I'm like, all right, I guess we're going to bank on Trevino having another good season. Like, I guess we're going to bank on Josh
I didn't understand
having a bounce back year. I'm at the point right now where I was just talking about guys that are injured. I'm like, I want Josh Donaldson to come back. Yeah. I never thought I would say that. And that's ridiculous to hear those words come out of my mouth. I never thought I would say that in my life from 2022 till now. I never thought those words would come out. It's true. We need Josh Donaldson. The New York Yankees need Josh Donaldson, because I can't watch Willie Calhoun and Jake Bowers. You know, I love you, Jake. Nice play, man. I love the effort, even though you're like, I could say a lot about the way he fields fly balls. That guy, like, he'll dive for a ball right at him. He's like the kid in intramurals who wants to show off, so he just dives for everything. The offense, man, it's just not. I understand they get hot at the right time and all that stuff. If they don't improve this offense through, I don't even know. You can't really call anybody up. You're not calling up Dominguez. And that's what I want to say about Ronnie Mauricio before. You can't just, these freaking idiot fans just think, oh, call up this prospect and he'll just, like, be great. Look at Volpe. Like, I'm not trashing on Volpe at all. I'll give him the whole year. If he sucks, it's all right. Like, it takes you a while. Look at Jared Kelnick. Took him freaking 3 years to get right. It takes a while for these guys to adjust and fulfill their potential. You're not just going to call someone up and they're going to be like your freaking cleanup hitter for the rest of the year. It happens once in a while.
Front offices know exactly when to call these guys up. Met fans were killing the Mets for not calling Beatty up or Alvarez up.
Mm-hmm.
They came up, and Alvarez took a few weeks. They didn't want to bring him up.
Yep.
It took a few weeks for him to get going, though, when he's finally got going. Beatty, same thing. He looks really good. They know. I heard the thing about Dominguez. I don't think you're seeing Dominguez up here unless something catastrophic happens with this team.
Mm-hmm.
You're not seeing Jason Dominguez. Both these teams, Mets and Yankees, the Yankees need to figure it out on offense. They need to make the trade deadline is going to be huge. Then the Mets need a couple of starting pitchers and a couple of high-end guys.
Yeah.
But I just never understood this, like the Yankees, like before the season, like you're bringing IKF back, you're bringing Hicks back, you're bringing Donaldson back. You spoke about Cabrera. I liked him more than you did. Like it was a tough sell.
I think it's ignorance. I think it's ego, and I think it's ignorance out of Brian Cashman, to be honest with you. What else could it be? He got absolutely torn apart for that trade for IKF and Donaldson, and it was
terrible.
Give me another year. Really?
And by the way, JM, the way that Torres and LeMahieu have played, and it's not like they're killing the ball, but they've been better than they were the past couple of seasons. That's been huge for this team.
Yeah.
And if they weren't playing like this, this team was under 500, and the only guy that was hitting was Rizzo. Oh my God.
No, it
would be a lot worse. So you should be counting your lucky stars that these guys will come back and have OPSs over 800.
One more thing that I forgot to mention. Aaron Judge is an unbelievable player. Obviously, we know the season he had last year.
Right.
I think we all know that if Aaron Judge had a 2021 Aaron Judge season or a 2019 Aaron Judge season, that team would they even be in the playoffs? Like
last season?
Yeah. Like
they certainly don't win the division.
Right? Like he's carried that team for a long time, carried that offense. You don't understand the magnitude that has. I understand that in baseball, it's only one guy out of 9 in a lineup. But when you're a guy who's batting .313, hitting 60 bombs, and has a 1,100 OPS in the middle of the lineup, that not only obviously helps the team when you're hitting homers, but they're pitching around you.
Everybody else seeing pitches.
The guy batting in front of you, they're going after him because they don't want to face Judge. It completely changes the lineup and makes the lineup a lot better. But
and again,
Judge having a down year for Aaron Judge, which he was hurt on. It's the beginning of the season, but we didn't expect Judge to come out and hit 60 again. A down year for his standards. If he gives you 35, 40 bombs this year, bats .280 and with a 910 OPS, that's not enough for this team. And it's not his fault. It's not enough for the team, though.
And it's a good season. And how did Brian Cashman construct this roster in a way that they're just this reliant on this guy? He was hurt already. You hope he stays healthy the rest of the year. You know baseball players, though. And he's not hitting 60 home runs again.
Yep.
So if he has the year he had in 2021, which is basically the year you just mentioned, it's a fine season.
Yep.
It's a really good season. But this team was so reliant on him last year. It was obvious. And you come in with the same exact offense.
Just Isaiah Kiner-Falefa as a New York Yankee. In 170 games, this guy has 4 home runs. He's batting .250, he puts the bat on the ball and this and that. He's batting .250 with a .618 OPS.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a good arm, by the way.
Doesn't have a position
as a defensive shortstop. Even after we traded him as a Gold Glove third baseman, Brian Cash was like, we'll play him at shortstop. Why not?
It's unreal. It is unreal what's going on in the Bronx. And this is just
it had
New
to
York.
Happen, man. New York sports, everybody's like, oh, they're up. Like the Rangers, I know the Rangers and the Islanders just lost. Like the Rangers and the Islanders are in the playoffs. The Jets and the Giants. Giants just made the playoffs. Jets got Aaron Rodgers. The Knicks are in the playoffs. The Nets are in the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm feeling down. I'm
One
feeling
of the
pretty
pins
down right
gotta
now.
drop, man.
I'm feeling down.
Yeah.
I'm feeling really down.
Yeah, how's that going? At least, yeah. Why couldn't it be the New York freaking Liberty? Why does it have to be the Mets and the Yankees, man?
Yeah, please. I was talking to my boss the other day. I'm like, we're gonna go to the Subway Series again. He go, who the hell wants to go to that game? I'm like, you're
Yeah,
probably
really.
right. It's a terrible freaking
Yeah.
game. And it's next month.
Should be $8.
It's next month. A month from now. And
Oh,
by the
good.
way, just 1 second before we go to football, the Mets are, in the easy part of their schedule. And I'm like, oh yeah, they'll turn around. Go look at June and then come back to me. Go look at their schedule in June because you're gonna laugh. But
oh wait, oh yeah, no, good. The Yankees right now, they got a 3-game set against Tampa Bay. They already dropped the first game. Then they got 4 on the road against Toronto.
Oh God.
Then we go to your parents. We go to the Cincinnati Reds this weekend.
By the way, I'll say a prayer for you. Good luck over there.
Oh no, good. Then we got Baltimore, San Diego, Seattle, and the Dodgers. Good. Yo, June 13th, it's gonna be like the 20-47 Yankees against the 19-48 Mets.
Oh, look at the Mets schedule too. You're gonna laugh hysterically, I promise you. You're gonna laugh. It is bad. Somebody tweeted yesterday the June schedule and he goes, "We are gonna die." I'm like, yeah, we're probably right. It's gonna be done in June.
Oh my God.
It's gonna be a June swoon, baby.
You figure Pittsburgh will like be bad by the time you play them, but that might not be good for you.
That's change anything.
Yeah, because the Tigers and the Reds just took care of business.
And the Rockies and the
Rockies. Oh my God, man. Toronto, Atlanta, the Yankees mid against mid. The Cardinals suck at least.
Yeah.
Astros on the road is brutal. Philly on the road, and then 4 games against Milwaukee. That's gonna be like the funeral.
Who swept us 3-0 and outscored them what? What did they outscore the Mets in that series? Like,
oh God, they didn't score a run till the last game of the series.
Yeah, and they blew it in the ninth. It's just, oh God, you know what? Let's talk about football. I'm already on to football.
Oh my God, Marte, man, what the hell is wrong?
Yeah,
holy shit,
he sucks. He sucks. It's so bad. It's so bad. Nothing is good right now. Nothing. Anyway, let's move on to football. That's a little bit more happier here. Although, again, schedule
they're not
makers,
playing games, so anytime they're not playing games, it's fun.
The schedule makers just shoved it right up the Giants' ass and said, you know what? Go play 7 out of your first 10 on the road, please.
Yeah. Oh, no. My favorite thing about this whole schedule about the Giants is like 7 of their first 10s on the road. Meanwhile, one of their home games is against the Jets.
That's a freaking home game. It's not even a home game. It's a neutral 50-50. I mean, Jesus Christ.
No, it's okay. The end zones will be. They painted the end zones blue for the Giants.
Yeah, so. Yeah, we'll be in the blues.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unreal. But whatever. We'll start with the Jets. 6 primetime games. This is the first time they're going to play a true Sunday night football game since 2011 against the Cowboys. The last time they played on NBC was the Thursday night against the Patriots, the Butt Fumble game. So, how you feeling? You back? You back in the prime time?
I'll tell you the truth, man. Like, obviously, this has been like the best offseason of my life. I'm like so excited for the season. And I was like, yes, like we're finally going to be back on primetime and everything like that. Seeing like the official schedule and like all the games that were scheduled for, we had 6 primetime games. It's kind of terrifying.
Yeah.
So it's a little terrifying. Like, because like, of course, in the back of my mind, I'm like, if this goes like bad, like it's gonna be really bad. Like we're gonna be like nationally just getting killed by the team. That I can't believe that I'm gonna watch Jets Chiefs on Sunday Night Football. That is terrifying.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I'm really excited. Obviously, it's great to have my team finally back on the national stage and be playing against the best teams in the league under the lights. I'm already booked to. I thought that Dallas game was going to be Thanksgiving. I would have put so much money that was going to be a Thanksgiving game. It's not. But it is it's the day after my birthday, so the Jets Cowboys game. So I'll be in Dallas for my birthday, which will be cool.
Very nice.
But I'll be going to that game. I really do want to go to that Bills 9/11 game. That's going to be really, really cool, the season opener.
Yeah.
And then I would like to go to the Giants Jets game. But these things cost money, so we'll see.
Pricey. The Jets are a hot ticket, obviously.
Yeah,
It's
cheapest
gonna be
ticket,
pricey.
$215 for the Bills game to start. So I'm gonna have to, I don't know, I'll wait, I guess.
Yeah. But just, I mean, I know, it's early and, we're looking at paper here, but
first
you're
half
right. It's a tough schedule to start, but at the same time, like, you're one of these teams. I mean, maybe you're not, the Chiefs or the Eagles, but, you're definitely up there with the Bills.
Right.
You're up there with Dallas, obviously.
Right.
So, I mean,
I just want to beat the Patriots, man. I want to freaking kill them. Like, I'm just so tired of losing to them. I want to just beat the crap out of them.
Not their homecoming game anymore. Yeah. I was listening to the radio yesterday, and they would have say, I know Brady's coming back, I think week 1 or something, or whenever they're doing like a come out of stadium. They would have saved that for the Jet game at home if it was Zach Wilson, the starting quarterback, or somebody else.
Yeah.
That would have been the homecoming game. This year. But yeah, I mean, you're one of these teams, but at the same time, it's brutal to start. And I think if you go 3-3 here to start the year, you're kind of feeling good about yourself, and then you get to the softer part and you win some games.
Yeah, 100%.
But listen, Buffalo's got a tough schedule too. Miami's got a tough schedule, so it's not like you're at a disadvantage here. It's gonna be tough, but you have the team to do it.
I was about to tell you something when we were on the break, and I was like, you know what? I'll save it for when we get on live. The other day I'm watching TV and it's like the middle of the day and I'm like, oh, there's no sports on. Like, I was eating, whenever I eat, I got to watch something. It's just like, whenever I cook something, I just got to have something to watch while I eat it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you know what? Let me put on The Herd. Like, great. Colin Cowherd show.
It's my boy.
They're talking about, this was yesterday, I think. They're talking about, it was a schedule release. So it was yesterday. They're talking about the Jets schedule. And this moron, I don't know what his name was, I was on the Colin Cowherd show, goes, the Jets schedule is Roger Goodell's way of sticking it to Aaron Rodgers for leaving Green Bay the way he did. And I'm like, what could they possibly have done to, like, stick it to him? He was talking about us playing the Dolphins on Black Friday, because he was saying that it was like a weird game and the Dolphins are a great team. So Roger Goodell wanted to make it hard for Aaron Rodgers.
Playing a Thursday night game the day after.
Yeah, what logic how do these guys have jobs?
I know.
What the hell are you talking about?
Was it Jason McIntyre? Was it the guy that's on the show with them?
Maybe. I don't know.
I think he's a Jet fan too, which is funny.
Like, these guys just talk to hear themselves talk.
I know. That's funny. I'm interesting. That Black Friday game's kind of cool. I know it's kind of
If anything, it is cool. If anything, I think that Roger Goodell helped Aaron Rodgers by making the second half of the year easier than the first. I mean, we got a stretch where we play Atlanta, Houston, the Browns, which who knows what the Browns are going to be this year.
Here you go. Here you got Miami, Atlanta, Houston at Miami. Then Commanders, Browns, Pats.
Yeah,
it's a nice ending for a team that is going to be, very good.
If you're playing 500 ball or at that time when that starts, you feel great. If you're 4-5 going into that, that's
you feeling good. 100%.
You could finish 100%. Off that season 10-7, 11, so whatever the Jets are going to end up. I think that this team, I really do think that the Jets have I don't care if it sounds bad. I think that they have potential to be a 13-win team. I'm not going to say they're going to be that. I think that's going to be really hard in their first year. I said they're going to be a lot. I think they're going to be a lot like the Bucks, Brady's first year. I think they're going to, in the beginning of the year, they might have some problems, just playing together, some chemistry. They might not be playing to their full potential, but I think they'll figure it out mid-year.
Especially against the tough teams, too.
Exactly. And I think that this team will most likely see them end up around 11-10 wins, something like that.
Well, that's why I was complaining to a couple of my friends who are Jet fans. I'm like, I wanted you guys early because of that exact reason. I was like, give me the Jets on Monday Night Football where the Bills are in that spot.
Right.
But, I don't want to see the Jets when they get it going and they've been playing together for, 2 months, 3 months now. I didn't want that, but they got that. What was I going to say? A couple of teams that didn't get, back to the Jets and then the other primetime games. I agree with you. I think they're like an 11-12 win team. I don't know if they win the division or not, but I think they go farther than the Bills in the playoffs.
Right.
That's my prediction.
Okay.
They might be a wild card team, but they go farther than the Bills.
I was saying it about the Bills, man. Like, I think the Bills might take a little step back this year. I just think, the O-line, it's still not great. And I know they got Kincaid in the draft. That's a nice signing for them. They're trying to improve the running game. They're doing everything to improve the running game that they shouldn't be doing. Like, just get better offensive linemen. Like, they're getting running back. They signed Damian Harris, but like, I don't think the running backs are the problem.
They have to make it easier on Allen. And I think if Allen can cut the turnovers out and just, be a better passer in the pocket and not worrying so much about making the big play, I think they could be, just as good as they were last season, or really better. Himself be better and the team be better. And that's what I'm kind of expecting here. They got to make the game easier for their quarterback.
Right.
It's too much pressure, man. He counting for 80% of his offense is very difficult. A couple of teams that I'm going to throw out there, they got a lot of primetime games. The Raiders, the Giants got 5, which is interesting. And the Packers got 5 too, which I found very interesting as well.
Right. Yeah, I saw that with the Raiders. It was, they're playing the Jets on Sunday Night Football.
It was an interesting game.
Yeah.
You're going to see a ton of Jet fans there.
Oh,
That's a big trip. That's a big, big trip.
Yeah. Packers is interesting. I think that, they have an easy start to the year, Green Bay, and I think they still could be a good team. I still think they can win the division. I don't know if that's like crazy to hear because I know a lot of people are all over the Lions, but I still think that they can win this division. It's obviously going to depend on Jordan Love. He's basically a rookie, but he's the most polished rookie that we're ever going to see. The guy's in his 4th year, and he's played under Aaron Rodgers for 3 years. So I think that he'll be a competent starting quarterback to start the year. I think he'll be very polished, and he knows this offense, obviously, like the back of his hand by now.
At least he should.
Yeah, but I was honestly, I don't know if this is a weird take. I was surprised to see the Chargers were tied for the most primetime games. Yeah, I know they're very marketable and they won. They were a playoff team last year, but like to see them up there with, I think it was 4 teams. Was it Kansas City, the Eagles, and one other, maybe Buffalo or Dallas had the most primetime games, and then seeing the Chargers in there was like a little interesting.
Well, you know what? I kind of have a theory on it. They want to obviously raise Herbert up. The NFL is a sport like where the Mets and the Yankees, like for the most part, nationally, the Yankees are always going to be bigger than the Mets. That's just the way baseball is. In the NFL, I don't think that's the case. Like, I think the Rams and the Chargers are very close.
Yeah.
And the Rams are on the decline, and they're going to want one of those LA teams up there. They're a marketable team, like you just mentioned. They play in a beautiful stadium. I think that can have something to do with it. They want the Chargers, and they are. By the way, hot take, I think the Chargers missed the playoffs this year.
Wow. Okay.
You know how much I love Herbie.
Yeah, that is a hot take.
And by the way, right now, I think they're 40-1. Bet the Broncos to win the Super Bowl. That's a discussion for another day. Though we could have that argument. Giants, like we mentioned, 7 out of 10 on the road. It's brutal. And I'm telling you right now, like you just mentioned, if the Jets are 500 by the time they get to the soft part of the schedule,
right?
If the Giants are 4-6 or like 3-5 when they get to that point, or 4-6 or whatever, I think that's what it would be.
Well, what's worse, the first or the second half of their schedule?
The first half is brutal.
Well, I know we talked about the road but I didn't really remember
tough games.
Opponents.
But then again, and by the way, thanks, Roger. You gotta ruin my freaking Christmas. I mean, for the love of God.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. That's.
I mean, for the love of God, why?
Did they bring back Boston Scott?
Yeah.
Ah, crap. Yeah, that's not going to be fun. I might put in my bet now for Boston Scott 2+ touchdowns
on Christmas Day. I'll be giving out gifts everywhere.
Yeah.
But very quickly before we wrap up, obviously we're going to be talking about all these games, the big primetime games. I just want to get your take. We just brought up the Lions. Week 1, Detroit, the opener in Kansas City. What did you think of that?
I was shocked, honestly. I think that move was, they're looking at, the Lions were the number 1 or number 2 offense in the NFL last year. So they want to see a lot of scoring to start the year, 2 exciting teams. And I know the Lions, like I said, a lot of people are picking them to win the division. They are an exciting team. I completely understand it. They had a pretty good offseason. So I like it. I don't say I like it, honestly. I think the Chiefs are gonna like probably wax them. Um, I'm a little confused by it. I thought that they were gonna pick a better opponent,
I heard the
but
reasoning.
I get it.
I heard the reasoning for wanting to save the Bengals and the Bills for later in the year, just like seeding wise and like playoff implications. I get that, and they did that. The Bill, I think they're playing the Bengals New Year's Eve.
Right.
Probably should have been the Eagles, but
Yeah.
just hear me out. Think about the last few NFC champions. They've come out of nowhere. It's been a new team. Who fits that criteria this year is like that new team in the NFC? Would probably be the Lions. I'm not
Could be
saying
the
they're going to
Lions,
the
yeah.
Super Bowl, but they're an up and rising team. They're exciting, like you mentioned. Get them on the big stage early. I like it. I can see it. I think that's gonna do it here. It's a
Mhm.
jam-packed episode. A lot of yelling, a lot of screaming.
Yeah.
It's been what it's been for me for a little while now,
Yeah.
but
Got stuff off my chest.
yeah. All right. Well, it was fun. We'll talk to you next time, and hopefully our baseball teams are playing a little bit better.